Thank you. Those are very kind words, Mr. Narco. I have to say I haven't been on this stage in a very long time. So, Sawete, thank you, Mr. Narco, for inviting me to speak tonight. It is truly an honor and pleasure to be back at Rocky Hill School at the Cives Pro IE's dinner tonight. Given how many people are there is a testament to Mr. Narco and Ms. Rizzo. I thought long and hard about what to speak about tonight. As I reflected, I remember reading Catullus, studying all the declensions, the participles, learning all those long lists of vocabulary words in the weekly quizzes we had. Who could get the old Latin phrase, semper sub ubi sub... I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Semper ubi sub ubi. Or perhaps the less well-known story of the man who went to a tailor with a torn pair of pants. The tailor said to the man, "Euripides?" The man responded, "Yes, Eumenides." Coming back here has brought back many memories. I was a Rocky Hill School lifer and graduated in 2006, so I've seen the community and campus change. To give you an idea, when I was here, all the middle school was in Gibson. There was no Gibson in Hale. In my first 2 years of upper school were in Hale. There was no Flynn Center. So my last 2 years were in the new building, which we now call Flynn Center. But before Flynn, Latin classes were held on the second floor of the Pony Barn. For those of you who don't know where that is, that's the building next to the preschool building. There were no ponies there. That would make for an exciting class. The building was very old. I thought fitting because it's Latin after all, an ancient language. The stairs to the second floor creaked so loudly, sometimes you wondered if someone fell down the stairs. And to use the bathroom, you had to go downstairs to the first floor and interrupt the Spanish classroom. I'm not sure how old this sounds to you, but this was only 10 years ago. Boy, was I in for a surprise when we got to the Flynn building with the new laptop program and the hardness curriculum. The Latin classroom is now one of the most visible classrooms. The Trojan horse sits there watching you, and Mr. Narco is everywhere. More importantly, I recall the vibrant community of teachers and students at Rocky Hill School. When I visited a few weeks ago, it was great to see some of the teachers I had, such as Mr. Narco, Mr. Coase, Mr. Cordaro, Mr. Hughes, and Mr. Greenwood, to name a few. Rocky Hill School's motto is "Know thyself." I'm going a little bit of a different direction. I remember being in your shoes and thinking I knew myself, and often wondered why we had to keep writing essays about the motto all the time. Do they still assign this? In high school, I thought about knowing and understanding where and who I am today, learning about what makes me me. I remember thinking, of course, I'm a Rocky Hill student who spent a lot of time studying. As I journeyed outside of Rocky Hill School to Brown University, I found myself constantly challenging myself to meet new people, encountering new ideas and situations, finding new opportunities, and acquiring new knowledge. Know thyself means not only knowing who you are today and what you know today, but also realizing all that you are not. Recognize your strengths and weaknesses, and always strive to build upon them. At the same time, be open to others, be accepting of change, and continue to find yourself as you go forth. There is no end destination to this journey. As you continue on this life journey, you will undoubtedly face challenges. Some will be easy to master, and some will make you re-examine your lives. Don't ever doubt yourself, and always try your best. Success is not always a straight line upwards, but a squiggly line that goes up and down on the way up. The classics have a lot of lessons to teach us. For example, Odysseus had a long and difficult journey home to his family in Ithaca after the 10-year Trojan War. Odysseus and his men were imprisoned and encountered numerous obstacles: the Cyclops, the Wrath of Poseidon, the Song of Poseidon, to name a few. You have to take Latin, I can't tell you the rest. Yet Odysseus was determined to return home and did so after 10 years of challenging obstacles. Even after 3,000 years, we still speak of his accomplishments and are assigned homework on it. I faced my own challenges too, maybe not as impressive as Odysseus. I wouldn't be where I am today without the love and support of my parents and several professionals. I was born with severe and profound hearing loss that wasn't diagnosed until I was 13 months old. What that means is that the quietest sound that I could hear was the roar of a jet plane or the sound of thunder. I soon received hearing aids and I was enrolled at Rocky Hill School. I did well, but I missed out on a lot because I was several years behind in my vocabulary and I couldn't really hear the TV or the radio. I would always wonder why did the radio exist, and I couldn't even hear the TV shows. I would just make up my own plots. Now that I can hear the TV shows, I think my clocks went back. My after-school activities entail speech and listening therapies 3 times a week. Those were long and busy days. I remember being frustrated that there wasn't enough time to have fun, but it was worth it. When I was in 5th grade with Mrs. Goldstein, I can't believe she's retiring this year. I became a candidate for the cochlear implant. It is a surgically implanted device that converts sound to electrical impulses, which are delivered through an electrode array directly to the cochlea by bypassing the non-functional hair cells. In other words, the cochlear implant changed my life. I could hear sounds I had never heard before, and the sounds I heard with my hearing aids sounded vastly different with the cochlear implant. I had to relearn how to hear all over again. Imagine believing that something was the color red, only to find out that it was the color blue, and it was actually never the color red. At the time, I could focus more on learning rather than wondering what my teachers were saying. I soon began excelling in my study and realized I wanted to give back to the community for all they have done for me. The experience has taught me that there are no obstacles as long as you are dedicated, passionate, and motivated. You can bring about change and control your own destinies. You may ask yourself, how am I controlling my destiny? I have to go to school and I get homework after homework, paper after paper, endless tests. I can't wait for vacation. I think you guys are just on vacation now. In actuality, education is what brings opportunities. It may seem like a long journey. You may even think that Odysseus had it easy. And you're right, it is a long journey. I wouldn't be where I am today without my parents' focus on education. And I know your parents and families also want the best for you by giving you the best education possible. With time in education, you will have the opportunity to see and do things you never imagined doing. Being a student is a full-time job. I know it well. And I know how easy it can be to hope for what someone else has, or to be in somebody else's shoes. One of Horace's satire's remarks on how no one is satisfied with the fate he has chosen or the fate he has been given. Horace writes about how the soldier envies the merchant who doesn't have to fight anymore, but the merchant envies the soldier who does not have to deal with sea travel. The farmer wishes for the cushy sea life of the lawyer, yet the lawyer wishes for the calm of the farmer's lifestyle. Horace ends by saying that if a God came now to change their lives, they'd all refuse and prefer to keep what they have. What Horace is saying is to be happy with what you have, keep striving to make it better, but focus on self-improvement and don't envy what others have. Now, no matter what destiny you choose, don't forget about the others around you, family, friends, eventually co-workers, and teachers and mentors. They will be there for you, and you should be there for them as well. Always strive to be a mensch. This Yiddish word, which I learned from my grandfather, means to be a good person and to always do the right thing, regardless of the circumstances. Being a mensch is an important skill and attitude to have, because it brings people together. Never close any doors, and always try to be optimistic, because even the smallest act can make a difference in someone else's life. Just think about that close friend you have today that you may not have had if X or Y didn't happen. Opportunities can easily be missed, so carpe diem, seize the day. By following our dreams, by being a mensch, and by making the most of each day, we will not only find happiness, but make a better world for everyone around us. It's important that we make the most of our lives while maintaining our own values and beliefs. The movie some of you may recall, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller says something quite inspiring when he states, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could actually miss it. It's important that we love and cherish what we have, while also discovering more about life. So what is life? I don't mean the science or the philosophical definitions. I believe life is what we make of it. It's been tremendously humbling to have had the opportunity to care for patients as a medical student. I've seen happy moments, babies born, and the reaction of parents on seeing their child and hearing the first cry. I've seen children come with colds and strep throats, and some who have been neglected and abused. I've been with patients diagnosed with and treated for cancer. I've seen gunshot wounds in places you'd never imagine. Some patients recover well, some are stabilized with complications, and some unfortunately do pass away. These experiences have not only taught me how precious life is and how much to value it, but also about the patients I have encountered. Everyone has their own life story, but when you least expect it, you learn about who they are and what they value in life. There is a true story of an elderly patient who was hospitalized for depression and social-related issues. The story was published in the journal over a decade ago, so not violating any patient information. This elderly patient was disinterested and not very talkative, considered to be boring and uninteresting to the medical team caring for the patient. When the attending, which is the doctor in charge of the team, learned of this patient, she insisted there has to be something remarkable about this patient. So she brought the whole team into the patient's room and began asking the patient a series of questions about the patient's life. The patient only gave monotonous responses of yes or no, and seemed to have no interesting life events, much to the attending's surprise. Finally, the attending asked the patient if she had ever been hospitalized, to which the patient responded, yes. Well, why? I broke my arm. How did you break your arm? Luggage fell on it. How did luggage fall on it? The boat lurched. What do you mean it lurched? It struck an iceberg. Oh, was the ship the Titanic? Yes. This depressed patient, who was alone, isolated, considered to be uninteresting, now became known as the Titanic survivor. The title of this article is Curiosity. Curiosity about the world and how things work is what drives things forward. It is why I believe makes life interesting and is one of the driving forces for learning. For me, my curiosity is not only in diagnosing patients, but also caring, learning, and knowing who my patients are. This desire has attracted me to internal medicine, and I'm looking forward to starting my residency at Yale New Haven Hospital next week. So as you continue your studies, keep an open mind and start nurturing your curiosity for learning. One day, there won't be a teacher telling you what to study and to read. It will be your desire, your curiosity, your passion that will spur you. Make the most of your education today. Thank you.